So I'm all khakied out today. I've got the khaki jacket, the khaki shirt, and I've got this army cap. And you know what? I've also got this Polaris, this JLC Polaris that I recently picked up. Man, I absolutely love this watch. JLC knocked it out of the park, man. Same watch, just a different dial color, different hue of green, different strap. Man, this watch is beautiful. If you get a chance to pick one up, do that, man. You won't regret it. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is that I think I figured out one of the reasons why Rolex is so successful. I mean, predictably, they're a brand that, you know, favors slow evolution over revolution, you know? So if they know what's gonna work now and 40 years from now, guess what? You're only gonna find out 40 years from now. They're not gonna dump everything at one go, you know? Brands really need to pick this one up. They would get a spike of interest over time. You know, they'll embed it and have that grow gradually as opposed to, oh, you know, now and then it kind of dies later. So I was at Watches and Wonders 2022 this year, and like everybody else, I looked at the Lefty GMT, I looked at the day-date with the green dial, which I think is nice. It's like an onyx green dial, just like the old 4 or 5 digit reference day-date. But the one that really caught my attention was this 42 Yacht Master in yellow gold with the Oyster Flex in, again, 42K size. I think Rolex absolutely nailed it.
What's the reference?
The reference is the 5172.
Reference 5172.
I just hope I got that right.
And I'm someone who owned the rose gold version of this Yacht Master, and it was nice, but then you would quickly notice a few things that will kind of put you off. So with the rose gold, I feel like the contrast is not as good as this one. You know, on a matte bezel, on an Oyster Flex, what you do want is like, you know, the extra shine, and this yellow gold ticks it 100%. The other thing as well is that the Oyster Flex, because they come in 2 different sizes, this one's got an F and a D, so the F is actually longer. This is the part on top of 12 o'clock. On the 40mm, it felt like it was pushing the watch a little bit, like, you know, it never just sits on your wrist right. And you might be thinking, this guy favors big watches. No, I don't. Like you, it's the 39K size to 40, maybe 41. That's the perfect size. But with this Yacht Master in this configuration, and because the Oyster Flex, you know, gives it that grip, right? So it's got these flanks on the inside, you know, so when you put it on your wrist, it kind of like sits tight and it's breathable at the same time. I feel like 42 is actually a better size for this Yacht Master. This is the all new 2022 novelties. This is the release that had just come out this year. This is the reference 22. What was the reference for this watch? Focus. Come on, man, focus. This is the 2022 novelty. This is the reference that had just come out this year. This is the reference 226658, man, and they couldn't have done it any better. The retail on this bad boy is about 27,000 euros. They're not as hard as the Pepsis and the GMTs and what's not. If you can't get those, you know, look no further, because let me tell you something. This is a very nice watch. And I know a lot of people might be thinking that, you know what, this is too sporty, it can't be that only watch. And I get the whole sporty attribute about this watch. You know, it is a sporty watch 100%, but let me tell you, with no shadow of a doubt, I'd put on even if I'm wearing a suit. I mean, we live in a time where I've seen people actually rock a Richard Mille on a suit, you know, in a formal occasion. So if you can do that, this is a classier option. In a better sense, an all-rounder. Something that is extremely sporty, very playful, shiny at the same time, you know, with the yellow gold contrasting. I wouldn't shy away from wearing it in a formal occasion, right? One thing I always liked about the Yacht Masters, especially on this 42K size, I've not had the chance to actually try on or wear the white gold version 42, but I'm assuming that it has the same kind of attributes on the dial. It's very legible, right? Like, you can see this. We're not even talking about the lume-filled markers. We're not talking about, you know, peeking at this watch at night. But the circles, the triangles, the hour markers, everything is so visible. You can at a glance see the time. So that's one thing I've always exceptionally liked about the Yacht Master, especially in the 42K size. So to sum this up basically in 3 sentences, this 42 Yacht Master in yellow gold is beautiful. 1, I like the contrast of the yellow gold on the black Oyster Flex and the matte bezel as well, but also it sits right on the wrist, and for that reason I absolutely love it. So in the previous video I've done a comedy skit with one of my good friends, Shark Tank with your AD. It was a lot of fun. I was just changing up the format a little bit instead of just sitting and talking and telling you about a watch that you already know. But I would love to go through your comments. What did you think of it? It didn't pick up a lot of views, and I understand that because it's a different direction to my regular topics that I talk about. So YouTube, the algorithm, is still kind of digesting that, but that's okay. I have episode 2 that I'm working on, and I can't wait to put it out. It'll be in the next video. Meanwhile, do let me know what you think about this Yacht Master in 42, this exact configuration in yellow gold. Are you pro-choice? Do you like the new look, or are you anti-consequences? You want to stick to the past? Do let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to go through your comments. Until then, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.